Hey guys, it's Spazman13579 here, and today we're going to be installing a DCC decoder into this Bachmann F unit. So I'll show you what tools you need and we'll get started. Alright, so for this project you will need a soldering iron. The higher temperature the better. Possibly some masking tape, double-sided foam tape. You're going to need some thin solder, some flux, your locomotive obviously, a decoder. In this case we're going to be hardwiring a decoder, so I got a Digitrax DH123D. This is great for hardwiring purposes. You're also going to need a Phillips head screwdriver as well as a flathead screwdriver. Alright, let's take the locomotive out of its packaging and we're going to turn it upside down. Now, depending on what kind of engine you have, you may have coupler boxes on either side that will you'll take them out and then the shell will come off. In this case, we're going to have two screws by the fuel tank, and those are going to take the shell off. Okay, so now we're left with our shell and the inside of our locomotive. Now, make sure to save your screws that you take out. You have to save those. And here's the inside. Just to give you a quick tour. In this case, half of the electricity, the ground, is grounded to the frame, so we may have to drill some holes, but in this case actually we won't, because there's already a grounding post for the headlight. So in this case all we're going to have to do is take out the screw, and there is our grounding post. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take off the wires going from the track pickup to the motors, desolder them from the motor pickups, and we're going to be left with two hanging wires. Alright, so now I've gotten the motor out. I'm just going to desolder all those contacts right there and take all the wires off the motor. We're also going to clip off this guy probably up to about here. Just clip that off, and we're going to be soldering to there. Alright, now that we've got the motor, the chassis, and the light bulb in separate pieces, what we're going to want to do is solder these two wires together and put the bulb back in its place. Okay, I've soldered these two wires together. Now on my harness right here, since I'm going to be having my decoder in the back about here, I measured about where I'm going to have that connected to on there, and I cut it and tinned it. So now we're going to solder that to there. And by the way, this is the right rail pickup lead, and the ground is going to be our left rail pickup lead. Right, so now we have done that. I put some heat shrink tubing over it, and now we're going to tin the bottom of our motor contact right here. Okay, now we've got our motor tinned on that bottom contact, and we're going to take our gray wire. Wait, excuse me. We're going to take our. I'm trying to think here. No, we're going to take our gray wire. Sorry about that. Going to measure it, cut it, and solder it to this bottom contact right here. Okay, now we got that soldered. We're going to put a piece of electrical tape over it to secure the connection and make sure it won't short out anywhere. Okay, I've now gotten the wires soldered to the bottom of the motor, and I reinstalled the motor. It can be kind of tricky to reinstall the motor, but you'll get it after a while. Now we are going to solder the top lead of the motor right here. And this time we're just going to use the orange wire and cut it to length and tin it and solder it onto the top lead. Alright, so now what I've done is connect that orange wire there like that. I also soldered the black wire to the grounding screw that the original bulb plugged into. I put that to black wire and measured it out to our harness. Now what I'm going to do is install our bulb here. I'm going to start by taking off that little ring on there, just taking that off. Alright, so what I've done is taken that off and cut and tinned the red wire. I also put the bulb back into its original position, and I'm going to take our blue wire right here and connect it to the red, and then take the white wire, which is right here, and connect it to the black on the bulb. Alright, so now I've connected all the front bulb leads, white to black and blue to red. Just going to put our bulb in there, and we're going to cut off the green wire, the purple wire, which is right there, and the yellow wire. Just going to cut those guys off since we're not using them. Alright, so I cut those wires off and I plugged in our decoder nice and tight. Now we're going to put some double-sided foam tape right on the back here and connect it right here. Alright, the decoder is stuck on. Now we're just going to take some electrical tape and put a strand over on top of these wires so that they can stay down. Okay, so now the decoder is held down, all the wires are held down, and we're going to take it over to the test track for a test run. Okay, all of your first decoders when you take on a package will be set as Locomotive number 3. So I'm going to select Loco 3 on my controller here. Try the light, and there's our light, perfect. Now, if you put it in reverse, there is no backlight because this is an F unit. They didn't really have lights on the back. So let's give it a test run here. Get up to speed. The motor is hitting something. Okay guys, I solved the problem. There's just a wire caught up in the flywheel. You want to make sure to not have any wires caught everywhere. That's why you want to have it all nice and clean. So anyways, then you just put your shell back on. I'll do that right now so you can see the finished product. Alright, so here's the finished product. As you can see, light is shining through there, but I'm going to fix that so it won't do that later. But this is a very nice runner, especially for a Bachmann. If we take it to a slower speed, see how slow we can get it. It's going pretty good, I like it. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.